Evening. So this book is called The Miracles of the Namiya General Store by Keigo Higashino. It is not a murder mystery. This is told, again, like a series of interconnected short stories, although much more interconnected, I guess, than my previous read. The book begins with these three delinquent boys, like they've just recently committed like a burglary, but they botched their getaway and are now taking shelter in what appears to be a defunct general store. Like it doesn't really look like anyone has lived here or like worked here for a really long time. But while they're waiting inside, somebody posts a letter through the letter slot. Like they are not really sure what to make of it, but they end up deciding to read it, and they discover that it's some like woman asking for advice. Like once they do some research into it, they discover that the store has a pretty interesting history. Like the old man who ran it more than 30 years ago did this community service type thing, I guess, where people would give him questions and he would do his best to provide them with answers. Like it kind of started as a joke with the neighborhood kids. Like most of the early questions were like silly things or funny things, but over time people actually began to come to him with real issues, like when they were facing problems or hard decisions or struggles and stuff in their lives. And so over time, the store has had a really big impact on a great many people. So the three boys don't really know what to do with this letter, but after some thought, they decide to respond to it. Like it seems wrong just to leave her hanging, especially since they did read the letter. And even though they feel extremely underqualified to be giving anyone advice about anything, they put their heads together and do their best to give her some kind of suggestion on how to proceed. And this becomes an entire series, like correspondence. So the weird thing though is that they never see anyone come to post the letters, and they never see anyone come to take their responses away, but the letters do keep coming, and the ones they send keep disappearing, and they find that maybe there's something really weird going on with this general store. Like time inside and outside doesn't seem to be flowing in quite the same way, and they basically learn pretty early on that what they might actually be doing is corresponding with people from the past. The book basically moves back and forth between the three boys in the present day and their consideration of the letters and the lives of the people in the past who came to post these letters, like the various individuals and the situations that caused them to decide to approach the general store for advice, and then the actions that they each take afterward, like as a result of the suggestions that they receive. So something that I liked. The story did a really good job at illustrating, I think, how sometimes just having that additional perspective can be helpful. Like it's not giving advice in this case isn't really about giving advice. Like it's more about making people stop and think more carefully about the choices and stuff that they want to make. Like one of the characters in the present day points out that, yeah, it seems like people just interpret the advice however they want to, like because their own perspectives have a big influence on how they interpret the suggestions that they get. But at the same time, that doesn't mean that this correspondence is not valuable. Something I did not like. I will say that this there were a lot of kind of small tragedies. Like it was a very serious kind of story. I did feel like the ending, I wish there was a bit more because I wanted to know how things turned out so I mean, it touches on so many characters' lives. Maybe that would have been hard, but I think because you get invested in their futures, and I kind of would have liked maybe an epilogue or something. But yeah, back to the whole tragedies point, I did find quite a bit of it a little bit sad. Like there's a lot of just people making really extreme sacrifice. Like these aren't exactly everyday problems people are asking about. It's very serious everyday problems, things like, oh, my boyfriend has cancer, or like my parents are getting old and I'm not sure if I should give up my dream to help them run their store, things like that, like very heavy, I guess, life decisions and things. No, it's life. Like it gets complicated and sometimes it's just a little tragic.